such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing. There is no such thing as a silent witness. If you've been following, you know the material we've been putting out recently has highlighted the fact that our country is at a crossroads. We're in a very dangerous spot as a country. Here's the text that's going to be the foundation of this video. Jesus in Matthew 12. Every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. We are in trouble, in my opinion. Did a video just recently in which an individual, Jay Jones, who's running for Attorney General in Virginia, was caught with some very embarrassing communications with a Democratic colleague. Let me refresh your memory.
Here is what has been revealed, unearthed, really. Jay Jones sent text messages to a Democratic colleague in 2022. And in those messages, he was making a call for a deeply disturbing call for violence against Republicans. In reference to those who were publicly honoring a deceased Republican state legislator, Jay Jones wrote to a former colleague, quote, "If those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out awash in something." He also wrote this about then Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert. 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert and the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. Discuss.
Wow. He later made reference that the man's wife needs to have something to the point to where their kids need to die in her arms so that she can change policy. Well, there were 2 ladies debating, Spanberger and Sears, debating for the top position in Virginia, the governor, and this issue of whether or not the Democrat candidate, the issue of whether she still supports the man who says 2 bullets to the head when talking to a colleague. Do you still support this man now that the text messages are public? This exchange is telling.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just make sure. Will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? And were you aware of these text messages before they released? You have 30 seconds.
In fact, it appears that it was those who released the text messages and held them for years. So the public was unaware who had knowledge of these text messages for many years.
What did you do about it?
I learned of these text messages the day that they came out, and I denounced them as soon as I learned of them.
She denounces murder.
And importantly, at this point, as we move forward, the voters now have this information that was withheld for them.
You're running
presumably for political reasons. But the voters now have the information, and it is up to voters to make an individual choice based on this information.
Ms. Spanberger, I understand what you're saying about the voters, but for you yourself, do you still continue to endorse Jay Jones? 15 seconds, yes or no?
We are all running our individual races. I believe my opponent has said that about her lieutenant governor nominee.
Ms. Earl Sayers.
And it's up to every person to make their own decision. I am running my race to serve Virginia, and that is what I intend to do.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. We just want to clarify, what you're saying is that as of now, you still endorse Jay Jones as Attorney General?
I'm saying as of now, it's up to every voter to make their own individual decision. I am running for governor. I am accountable for the words that I say, for the acts that I take, for the policies that I have put out.
Thank you.
I am responsible for the policies I put out and the work I will endeavor to do tirelessly for the people of Virginia.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger.
Wow. Spanberger refuses to rescind an endorsement of a man who's speaking of putting 2 bullets in the head of his political opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. If you cannot call for the withdrawal of a man who ironically is running for the Attorney General, who talks about putting bullets in the heads of opponents and mothers having their children die in their arms because they hold a different political view, we are in trouble. There seems to be a certain sect of politicians who are okay with violence because they won't stop, they won't denounce, they won't withdraw endorsements. Let's be honest. We are truly a house divided in the United States of America. And the truth is, unless we turn around, according to the words of Jesus, we will not be able to stand.
For such a time as this,